right, my friends. What would I do if I could suddenly feel and to know once again that what I feel is real? I could cry, I could smile, I might lay back for a while. Tell me what would I do if I could feel?
Good afternoon, my name is Eric Inwood. I'm a retired schoolmaster one time, second master at boys up at the King Fahd Academy in London, in East Acton. One of the places I had many years ago, the many students I've taught was to teach young gentleman Omar Al-Duri. I'm delighted at his success and not at all surprised. Well, there may be a modest amount of truth in that, but from my experience to teach for many years, we had some excellent students and we just brought out what was in them, which their mothers and fathers had placed. Well, it's complimentary for my dear Omar to say that to me. I have to state plainly the qualities he had, and many of the other boys who've gone to work in the Gulf, are the important things. I'm not totally disagreeing with him, but I wouldn't expect to agree entirely. Because when you teach these wonderful boys who had a sense of unity and collectivism, decency and fun, you could anticipate they would do well. Not do well just in a material sense, but do well because their characteristics, their qualities. I was both delighted and surprised at a thing called Inwoods Corner, 3,500 miles from home. But I'm bound to say I have a large number of books which I would like to give for Omar for his corner and his friends. They're down in my cellar at present, but whether there's room for them, it's really up for Omar to decide. But to speak plainly, I was overjoyed that he should have something as a recollection of our time together. Well, clearly Omar was a very gifted sportsman, football athlete with exceptionally good coordination. But he had other interests as well. I had the pleasure of teaching English and history. I think he had a feel, particularly for history. His success in sport, I used to play rugby at quite a high level, that doesn't last. You have to have a profession outside that. And when he taught in his gap year at the King Fahd Academy, at a tumultuous time for it, he taught the boys well. They respected and admired him, and he had the quality to transmit that. The fact he didn't become a professional footballer, he has all the qualities and characteristics and abilities to do well in whatever field he chooses. And I must speak plainly, I'm rather, if I can use the word, proud of what he's done than other than him becoming a professional footballer, who, as you know, are not the highest watermark of life in the world. Omar was perceptive, industrious, and also fun. The subjects I taught him, humanities, basically English and history, I think he had a feeling for history. Not every student does, but I think the environment he came from made him a success in those areas. He was a joy to teach. In fact, I can remember him lining up and leading some boys going to exam on one occasion and swinging their legs and singing, "Always look on the bright side of life." Now that might sound fun, but I can see him as the head of those group of boys going to the crucial exam with a very positive attitude to life, which a number of adults, dare I say it, do not possess. It's a very difficult time at the Academy when there was a tumultuous approach to it, when the British national curriculum was phased out. and the better teachers left, I was asked to come back. And Omar held the ring. He came back as a gap year, teaching PE and games. And there was a real supply of sort of rather inferior supply teachers. The leadership was poor. And I thought he was excellent. He held the ring. The boys had an area of positivity manifesting itself through Omar's qualities. He held the ring, and I thought what he did was admirable in a very difficult time. And I watched him developing from year 7 right until the age of 18 or whatever he was, with a sense of profound respect and attachment for him. He dealt with a difficult thing which a number of older people could never have coped with, for which he has my permanent admiration and respect. And still has, by the way. Well, I'm delighted that any knowledge I'd given him he wishes to spread further. I think it's inevitable. He had the ability to communicate, and I noticed even with some of the more hostile students at that time, he could communicate with them. And I'm delighted he wishes to carry on a continuation of what perhaps he'd learned from me. I'm delighted, and I don't like to be proud, it's a word I don't like, but it gives me feel a sense of great personal satisfaction. And thank you very much, Omar Al-Duri, my student.